My Wise Astrology Tribe, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Krisztina. Today, I'm here with the 4th week of October and with the Taurus Lunar Eclipse. I'm going to analyze that for you right now. Before I start, I want to talk about a little bit about myself. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, like, and share my videos so other people, your family and your friends also can benefit from my readings. And if you would like to have a personal reading with me, you can check out my website, which is UrbanWitch.org. So I'm going to start with the Taurus Lunar Eclipse over here. The lunar eclipse is going to happen in 5 degrees of Taurus, and I'm going to show the sky for you for a little bit as well. This is the first decan, so it's very, very Taurian energy, and it's ruled by Venus. During the eclipse, Venus still going to be in Virgo, and it doesn't like to be in Virgo because it's in fall over there. So it cannot shine. It cannot shine with its full potential, right? But anyway, the eclipse is in 5 degree Taurus, and it's going to oppose the stellium in Scorpio. So we're going to have Mars, which is in rulership, Mercury conjunction opposing with this eclipse, and also obviously the sun. Lunar eclipse is when the Earth is between the sun and the moon. So it's shading it and the moon is not visible. That is a hybrid eclipse, lunar eclipse, because of that is the last Taurus eclipse. The nodes already moved in July 17th to Aries and Libra axis. So yes, that is the last eclipse for another 19 years in Taurus. Taurus rules the second house. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, so everything related to Mother Earth, everything related to natural disasters, because Uranus is coexist with this eclipse, and everything to do with the soil, with earth, with Taurian energy. Taurus also rules financial axis because it rules your salary, your income, your values, the food we eat. So obviously it's going to affect Taurian energy and Venusian energies. The eclipse is always an ending, the lunar eclipse. It's a sudden, karmic, something what we cannot control. And usually it is coming with an unexpected sudden ending. It's going to affect definitely the stock market, and it's going to affect also the food we eat. And the lunar eclipse, as I said, it has to do something with ending, signing off of contract, also to do something with death as well. So let's see, and let's see actually the historical context before. We had in 2003 a Taurus lunar eclipse, and then we had it in a hybrid in 2004 October. But 2003 we had it in November, and then we also had it in 1994 on November. So we're going to check actually the whole entire November, because of the eclipses doesn't necessarily happening on the same day when the eclipse occur in the sky, right? It could happen before 6 weeks, after 6 weeks, and actually it could happen if it's a solar eclipse would be, or the first lunar eclipse, it could happen within 18 months. So it's unfolding for a long time. This Taurus eclipse, and in 1994, we had Bill Clinton in the US in office, and we had a midterm election, and in November 8th. So November 8th, actually, the Republican Party was in, how do you call that? Like in a larger amount in the Congress. So they win over the Congress, right? And then in 94, also in October, what's happened, we had a tsunami, and we had a an earthquake in the Philippines and tsunami. It killed around 2,000 people. So as I said, Taurus is an earth sign and fixed sign, and it has to do something with Mother Earth, with Gaia. And then if I move forward in 2003 and 2004, in 2004, around the Taurus eclipse, we had the biggest bank robbery. Also in Florida, we had a protest actually in St. Petersburg because of there was some kind of racist issue with the police. The police killed a teenager boy, a black boy. And then we had a social unrest back then. Also, but you have to know, we also had multiple, for example, 2004, end of September. So as I said, it's not necessarily unfolding the same day. It was a month before when we had the Thailand tsunami, and it's killed 70,000 people. So definitely with this eclipse, we can expect more earthquake. Well, we already had in Afghanistan an earthquake, and unfortunately, we don't know the death toll. It was definitely over 4,000. They're not going to count or find everyone because there is no help really for the Afghan people. And then in Czech Republic, my mom lives in Hungary, and she told me they felt it also. In Czech Republic, we had a 5.5 magnitude earthquake as well, and you could feel it in the surrounding countries. So definitely it could come with something devastating. Also, it's affecting the stock market as well. It's lunar eclipse. It's the financial axis. Obviously, it's going to affect the stock market, and I'm going to want to analyze also the whole entire, not the whole entire burn, but for example, I'm going to talk about Israel. I'm going to talk about Biden a little bit because of there is a major affection. I checked King Charles as well because of he also has a Scorpio sun, and actually the eclipse opposing his son Mark Zuckerberg, also going to have some kind of health condition. And we're going to talk about the US and Russia and Putin as well a little bit. I have everything in my phone, and I'm going to check and analyze it from my phone to you actually. But first I want to show you the sky, and you will understand what's happening over here in the sky. So let me see. So the eclipse is happening at 5 degrees. It's going to oppose the stellium Mercury-Mars, right? Heated conversation. Definitely Mars is the war. Actually, Mars is very, very powerful in a Plutonian energy, in a Scorpionic energy. So it has to do something with war and death over here, unfortunately. Also, because of Mercury is anything to do with sales, and Mars in Scorpio could do something with stock market. Definitely, it could affect the market tremendously. We have actually Jupiter coexist over here with this eclipse, and Jupiter is going to make a conjunction to the eclipse. It is, 6 degrees away, but still very, very effective. And you don't have to forget, because in Vedic astrology, we also have to analyze Uranus over here as well, and Uranus something sudden and something with technology, right? Or actually it could represent earthquake, and it could represent tornadoes as well. So this definitely coexist with the eclipse energy here. And what else can we check? So look at that. Look at Pluto here. The eclipse is going to make a square with Pluto. It is an out of sign square, right? Because of by energy, Taurus and Capricorn both are earth energy. By energy, it's trining. But because of Pluto is very late degrees and the eclipse very early degrees, obviously it makes a square. So the square is a Martian archetype, so something to do with war, something to do with attack. For example, here, politicians, right? Politicians who are very powerful and actually making the decisions about the public. because the moon is the public. The moon is your emotions. It is your feelings. It is also representing the public as well. So definitely it is something against the public. All right, so what else can we see over here? So this eclipse is going to square Chariklo here, and Chariklo is Chiron's wife, who is actually mended the broken heart. So with that square, we'll be like, yes, there is going to be some kind of political or geopolitical new law, or like, for example, something about the wars, what's going on right now, what we're not gonna like, what it's gonna break our heart, the decision going to break our heart. All right, and then it's going to actually, the eclipse, sextile with Vesta, and it's going to trine with Juno. Juno is here, right? And it's going to trine with Juno. Juno is like loyalty, and what is Juno also? They're not just loyalty as well, but commitment and fairness. But Juno also infidelity and also betrayal, because Jupiter always betrayed Juno and cheated on her. And Vesta is the eternal flame over here, but also Vesta is always seeking for deep desires. So with this eclipse, and because of Vesta is in Cancer, we're going to have deep desire for peace, for family peace. Yeah, that's definitely something to think about. And yes, Juno in Virgo. Well, Juno in Virgo to do something with infidelity, betrayal. Virgo is really, really practical. And I lost my thoughts, but I'm going to think of that later on. All right, yes. So that's what happened in history, and that is the aspect over here, what it's going to make. Oh, the major thing what I forget, and I don't want to, I have all the notes right in front of me, and sometimes I just forget to mention things. All right, so we have two very, very bad stars, which is fixed stars in heaven, and that is Sheraton and also Hamal. And Hamal is in 7 degrees. Taurus, and Sheraton is in 3 degrees. Both of them actually only needs 2 degrees, 10 minutes to conjunct with something. So because of the eclipse gonna happen at 5 degrees, both of the fixed star going to conjunct with the eclipse. Hamal even sounds like Hamas. And later on, we're going to talk about Israel a little bit and analyze it. So yes, that's definitely could affect actually the war in Israel. And what else is good? And Sheraton as well. And you have to know about these fixed stars. Those two fixed stars are something to do with violence, with crime, with very, very malefic. It is merciless fixed stars over here. So this lunar eclipse definitely, and opposing Mars, going to be something to talk about and write about in history. All right, let me see. Right now I'm going to, so that's what's happening here. And then I'm going to talk about Israel a little bit. So what you have to know about Israel war didn't really happen on the solar eclipse. Every astrologer talks about that. But actually what triggered that war, that was the South Node and Mars on Israel ascendant, and it squared with Pluto. So that was a fiery cocktail of aggression and past karma, and it was activated. And it's related to land and roots because Pluto is in the 4th house in Capricorn for them right now. So as Pluto turned direct, there is a potential to escalate the conflict. Unfortunately, sadly, and the fatalities as well. So more death is going to, come from this war. And then you also have to know the moon in 12th house in Virgo, and Leo and Mars are Mars are in Leo in late degrees for Israel. So it's an out of sign conjunction in their natal chart. But this is actually opposing the transit Saturn. So this could aspect some kind of hidden enemies for Israel, and definitely a lot of challenging in defense. So everybody says Israel army and intelligence are very, very powerful. And as we see, Hamas was attacking them without they even have any clue about it, right? So the army definitely going to face a lot of challenges this time. And then we have the Taurus lunar eclipse. So the Taurus lunar eclipse is conjunct Hamal and Sharatan. Hamal sounds like Hamas, as I said. And Taurus, for them, it's in their 8th house. So that is going to definitely trigger this conflict, and it's going to increase the loss here for Israel. All right, so what else is going to happen? Jupiter and Uranus conjunction next year, April 20th, is going to happen also in the 8th house. So there could be some kind of issue with some kind of military explosion, right? Because Uranus is nuclear, something like what is involving a nuclear weapon, unfortunately. And then we also have a Pluto-Saturn conjunction in the 11th house, opposing Pluto in Aquarius. But it's going to happen like 7 years from now on. So this is a metaphysical mirror, and it is reflect the nation here, and it will be very, very intense 7 years from now on, and it could be really, really destructive, unfortunately. All right, guys, I'm gonna go right now, and I'm going to go also to analyze, for example, Biden chart, President Biden in the United States. Biden has 4 planets in Scorpio and in the 12th house. That's hospitals, right? Then and you know, people who has a lot of 12th house planet, they suffer a lot usually. They could become very, very famous, but they can suffer a lot as well. And Biden did suffer because lost 2 children and wife, you know, like he did suffer, definitely emotionally. Right now, he has, I mean, in his natal chart, he has a Taurus moon. All right, so what does it say? Taurus moon. The eclipse gonna happen on his moon, and it's in his 6th house because Biden has a Sagittarius rising, just like the US has a Sagittarius rising. So because of it's gonna happen on its moon, something happening with his head, and it's opposing all the energy in his 12th house. He going to get hospitalized, he going to, and you know, eclipse is eclipsing someone else. And because of he has Saturn in the 9th house, it's also squaring and doing a T-square and also a grand cross with malefic planet for him. And it's affecting his decision making, it's affecting his presidency. So I would say, and actually I checked Trump as well, and he also going to have some major issues. But first I'm gonna go definitely. Oh my God, I had it by then. But anyway, he does have, believe me, because I checked it and I wrote down everything, and he does have a T-square with Saturn also involving. So we going to be most likely out, and within 6-10 weeks, and his head going to decline rapidly, and it could, yeah, I have him here. Okay, finally I found him. So yes, it will. Oh, I know he has Pluto in Leo, 7 degrees. So actually, just like Trump has it as well. So it's squaring with Pluto, the planet of transformation, the planet of death. And yeah, so it's going to affect him, and that's creating something very malefic with Mars as well. And because of transit Saturn, no, actually, let me see. Transit Saturn is in his 4th house. And Saturn is also ending, and it's going to go direct by that time. Actually, it's already direct, so it's very powerful. And it's on his south node. So definitely, I think Biden is close to death, or get hospitalized, or out of. He not going to run again, and he going to have to give to Kamala Harris for a short while the presidency. Why? Kamala is Libra, and the solar eclipse is usually positive, and it's happened on her sun. So that's why I think it's going to be a change in presidency really soon in the US. And by the way, the US has a Pluto return. Pluto just turned direct on the 10th of October. And then it's in the 3rd house. No, actually, it's in the 2nd house. So it's anything to do with stock market. So it's gonna. That's why I said this eclipse going to create a crash here. And because it's an out of sign square with the eclipse, right? We were talking about that. And then the US has Taurus in the 6th house. So we have to expect some kind of issues with health, public health again, or something with insurances, health insurances, something with military defense. We might going to get compromised with military defense. And then I checked Ukraine as well. And then I saw, all right, Ukraine is going to lose alliances. Why? Because Israel going to get more help from America, right? And then I checked Ukraine, and I was like, oh, okay, so that is going to affect, here is Ukraine a different way. So they're going to lose alliances. So the eclipse going to happen in their 4th house. So that's the land, and also the Uranus and Jupiter conjunction next year. So that's not really beneficial there for Ukraine. And the eclipse is 5 degrees in their land. So definitely Ukraine, that is also going to increase, unfortunately. And the alliances, I saw that they are losing, money-wise, because of Saturn turned direct, and Neptune is opposing their Mars in the 8th house. They have a Mars in 8th house in Virgo, so that's why they're not going to have enough money. They're not going to have enough ammunition, for example, like guns. Right now, everything gonna go to Israel and the Middle East war and all the support. And then I wanted to, so what did I see with Trump? Let me see, just let me get the Trump chart up here for a second, because that was, so I remember, no, let's see, Trump astrology. Trump astrology chart. So Trump has a Taurus midheaven, and Uranus is right now on the midheaven, and he has a Leo Pluto, and which is going to square with this eclipse, definitely. And he also has like a Leo rising. But let me see Trump astrology chart here for you. All right, I don't want to go to astro chart. I'm going to do astro.com. No, AstroSeek. I love AstroSeek. I prefer them. And then it's whole sign. Yes, so Trump has actually Saturn and Venus conjunction in Cancer in the 12th house by whole sign, because I analyze everything by whole sign. And then it is squaring with the eclipse, because of the eclipse is very early degree Taurus, and Saturn and Venus is very late degree Cancer. So it's out of sign square. But, it's not, it's applying, but it's not very, very strong. But the 12th house represents prison. Saturn is restriction. Cancer is home. So he might going to have to be on home arrest, something like that. That's what I think. And because of Uranus is on his midheaven, guys, and then it squares actually with Mars, natal Mars. That could also indicate some kind of very like fighting for his career or fighting to stay in the race, things like that. And by the way, before you say anything, like I'm going to do a disclaimer, I'm not on anybody's side, all right? Even if I'm gonna analyze Israel or analyze later on Palestine as well, I'm on nobody's side, and I'm never going to share my political view neither here. I just pray for everyone actually to have peace on earth, and that's my intention over here. Okay, so let's see what else is happening. So we analyzed Biden, we talked about US, we talked about like Israel as well and Ukraine. If you want to, we can check Russia, but let me see what's happening with Russia, because that's how it's going to affect the financial axis in mundane perspective for the world. And here is Russia somewhere. I have to check it. Here is Russia. Let me see. And I'm not doing China right now because that's going to be a very long video then. So it's gonna happen in the 10th house of Russia. So all right, I would say, but the eclipse is going to trine with their north node and sun conjunction. So I would say they're going to gain some more land from Ukraine. So Russia actually going to be in a better position again. That's what I think from this analysis here. I mean, if I check their chart. Okay, so let's see what else we can talk about here. Yes, so we were talking about the sky, and as I said, Mars and Mercury, that's some kind of political navigation over here, powerful people. But Scorpio is shadow. Scorpio is underworld. Scorpio is the terrorist. Scorpio could be terrorist, and Mars over there, it could be like they are trying to negotiate with terrorists, but there is no ear to listen. So that's no way they will listen. And because of Jupiter also involved this lunar eclipse and opposing Mars as well, so actually it just expanding and make it bigger. I would say Jupiter could be something with law, and I would say it could be something like more, hopefully we're not going to have a World War III, but more countries going to actually get involved here. They will try to negotiate, yes, but because of Hamalis here, Sheraton, and because Mars is very powerful, it's an opposition Saturnian energy. It squares with Pluto. Unfortunately, I don't think so. All right. However, the sky here, we are having end of the 4th week of October, we are having still the Venus and Jupiter trine. And on general individual people, it's going to affect us actually on the right way. It's going to give us some peace. It's going to be like uplifter energy. So besides what's happening around us, it could actually help us to hold hand in hand and work together, work this storm together, and help each others with this conflict and with this very, very heavy energy. So I'm going to talk about each individual signs, and let me see. I'm going to start with you, Aries, rising, sun, and moon. So the eclipse is in Taurus, and it's gonna happen in your 2nd house, but because of we are checking the axis, it's gonna be your 2nd and 8th house axis. So that's your finances, anything to do with a financial shift, with your values, with your food. So you might going to want to create a pantry, or like it could actually, some of you areas who are farmers or have actually livestock, it could create some kind of loss of that. But definitely because of the Sun and Mars is in your 8th house, you are wanting to have an inheritance could coming for you, or something with insurance money, or shared resources. You can get some kind of gain in shared resources. All right, and if you would like to have a surgery, definitely not like right now, unless if it's a must. But later on, 6 weeks later, you can start something. But don't do anything. But for example, if you want to have a plastic surgery, wait a little bit longer. All right. Taurus rising, sun and moon. It's going to happen in your 1st house, but it's affecting your 7th house as well, because Scorpio is in your 7th house. And it has to do something with your partnership, and it has to do something with your business partnership. So Taurus eclipse in your 1st house could affect your, not only your finances, but the way you are pretend, the way you're representing yourself to a company or through a company, or the way you are wearing your mask. Actually, it's like you are peeling off the onion, so your ego is melting over here. So with joint finances and with marriage related investment, you can be quiet, happy and quiet, lucky. Gemini rising, sun and moon. It's going to affect your 12th and 6th house axis. It's going to happen in your 12th house, but the 6th house, your health is also going to get affected. So you're going to need to revisit something with your health. You can get rid of an addiction, any kind of addiction, or some kind of hospitalization could be over for you. It could also make you to lose a job if you are a nurse, or get retired. It doesn't have to lose a job, but you have enough, and you just want to get retired, Geminis. And then opposition is your health. Mars is over there, like you, and Mercury as well. You will need to ask for another blood test, or you need to ask for another opinion, a second opinion perhaps. Definitely it is Mars in Scorpio, like it's indicate like you want to venture out and you want to start some sport or going to the gym, yoga. All right. Cancer rising, sun and moon. It's going to affect your 11th house. It could actually clip out some friend for you, a social media group, your tribe. So you will feel like you don't belong anymore from there, and you don't want to pay a high price to some kind of social group, some kind of political group. You say like, that's enough. I'm not going to pay $200,000 for the year. I'm out of here. Okay, a club, for example. But the 5th house, that's a lot of emphasis, could bring in some kind of winning, prize winning, or actually you can get a new agent as well if you are doing anything with creativity. All right, let's move forward. Leo rising, sun and moon, it's going to happen in your 10th and 4th house. 10th house, it's eclipsing out something from your 10th house, which is going to be a career, a job, finishing something, maybe a political party, maybe you were Republican and you're going to be independent, or anything like that. So it is just an example, remember. But also it could eclipse a career out from here. You have to be careful with your reputation, definitely. And then the 4th house, a lot of emphasis on your 4th house. You might going to actually move your office at home, and you're going to get involved with your family, and you're going to spend more time with your family. Also, it could indicate like you want to get a mortgage for a house and you want to buy a home. All right. Virgos. So it's going to affect your 9th and 3rd house, right? And the 9th house gonna happen the eclipse. So it is something to do with education. You might going to finish your master degrees, or like your high education. It could be also like you are getting rid of a religion view. So for example, maybe you are changing religion, you are converting here. Or it could actually eclipse out someone who is a professor for you, so someone who taught you for something could pass and do the transition, but It could also mean like you did a language course and finally you speak the language and you finish it. You don't have to pay for it anymore. And the third house, you're going to have a lot of short-term traveling, or you're going to change neighborhood, or you might going to invest actually in skill-based study. And then Libras. Libras, it's going to happen in your 8th and 2nd house, right? So what's going to happen over there? That's financial access for you as well. And it is your shared resources, something to do with the personal values as well. So the values are changing here. But the 8th house, the eclipse over there could be like finally you pay off of mortgage or debts, or finally the insurance, you sued someone and the insurance money is coming through. Finally you are ending the fight for your inheritance, or your alimony because you divorced. So it could be positive though. Definitely 8th house is like transition, taboos, death. It could be, and because it's Libra, it could end a relationship for some. But definitely your values are changing. You're going to put a lot of emphasis on your values. You might going to invest in art. You might going to have more salary. So it could be very beneficial in your 2nd house though. Scorpios, you're going to have that in your 7th and the 1st house. All right. So my husband is a Scorpio stellium. Great. All right. So that is 7th house. That is your marriage partner, significant other, or your business partner. Oh, all right. So it could, end a relationship, or it could end a commitment or an alliances for some Scorpios. And in the 1st house, you're going to put a lot of emphasis on yourself. Obviously, that's your birthday month, right? October, it's already started on the 23rd when Sun moved to Scorpio. So that's why also you have a stellium over there. So, right, you're going to have a lot of emphasis on yourself. You're going to change the way you look, the way you represent yourself to the world. And let's move forward. Sagittarius rising, Sun and Moon. Okay, I am a Sag rising, all right? And then let's see, it's gonna affect our 6th and 12th house. 6th house is anything to do with health. I talked about that when I was mentioned Biden, and the US also has a Sag rising. So Sag rising, your health, some kind of health routine or some kind of food addiction, what doesn't serve us anymore, finally we can give up. So it can lead to later on maybe for weight loss, hopefully. But also it could I don't want to do it anymore. I went to the gym, it didn't help me, and I'm not paying it for anymore. It could also end some kind of job, but it's not necessarily a bad ending. Something what you have done, daily routines, and it didn't serve you. It was too much work. And don't forget, you guys, because you have Jupiter and Venus trine in the 6th and 10th house, so your career could be really amazing this month and next month. So I would say whatever you're giving up at work, it did not serve you anyway. So you just have to get rid of it. Some Sagittarius could lose an animal, unfortunately, with this eclipse. I hope it's not the case, but it could happen. All right. Let's see, Capricorn rising, Sun and Moon secondly, 5th house and 11th house. 5th house is anything to do with investment, children, creativity. You might going to give up a project that didn't come through, or some kind of investment portfolio because you wanted to change your income, or you actually, it could be a habit to buy lottery tickets constantly and you never win, and you're just gonna leave it behind. You can actually end the gambling issue. So it could be positive, definitely. Or eclipse with children, it could be like your child is leaving the nest and moving out from your nest. So it could affect you like that. And the 11th house, you have a lot of emphasis with Scorpio there. So definitely it could be something with new tribe. You're going to have a new tribe. You're going to have more money from your career. So that could be really positive for you. All right, Aquarius, rising sun and the moon. It's going to happen in 4th and 10th house. Where Aquarius 4th house? Okay. The eclipse, well, it could end something with a living situation and your living situation. You sell a home, you move. It could also, because fourth house is also funeral, and that is your root. Some Aquarius might lose a parent figure as well, or end an issue with a parent figure. It doesn't have to be a death, but obviously it could be, but it could end an issue as well. But definitely something in real estate could change the family situation. All right, and then Pisces. All right, Pisces is gonna happen in your 3rd and 9th house. 3rd house is your neighborhood. 3rd house also your younger siblings, skill-based study. So you might going to finish a study and finally get licensed. It could be like you don't want to live there wherever you live anymore, and you want to move, so you're changing neighborhood. Definitely it could be like education related investment somehow, or something with communication. You might going to want to update your internet, your social media account, and publishing could be amazing for you as well, or YouTubing, something like that. All right, guys, if you loved my video, so then please don't hesitate to like, comment below, and I will see you with another video soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.